The China Report for Thursday, June 13, 2013. U.S. government has been hacking China. NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden has told a Hong Kong newspaper that the U.S. government has been hacking Hong Kong and Chinese networks for at least 4 years. The comments were made as part of the South China Morning Post's exclusive interview with Snowden, his first since revealing himself on Sunday. Snowden reportedly showed reporter Lana Lam documents that showed the NSA had been hacking computers in Hong Kong and on the mainland since 2009. Could this be tied to the problems over the past several years with Google and China? Google last year moved their operations to Hong Kong after several years of trouble on the mainland. Many believe that Google is tied to the NSA and U.S. government, which was hacking China from within the mainland. Both China and the United States have claimed being hacked by military-level computer hackers. China Bank offers new investment product. China Bank has unveiled a new unit investment trust fund UITF that will invest in a portfolio of select equities, targeting investors with higher risk appetite and a longer investment horizon. In a statement, the bank said it had rolled out China Bank Equity Fund, its fifth UITF offering, as part of its continued efforts to provide a comprehensive range of investment solutions to its clients. Classified as an equity fund, up to 90% of funds held will be invested in select equities listed at the local bourse. The balance will be invested in short-term tradable fixed-income securities and bank deposits to support liquidity and redemption requirements. With the generally bullish prospects portended for the Philippine economy, and by extension to the various companies listed in the domestic stock exchange, China Bank Equity Fund is an excellent opportunity for investors to participate in the bullish Philippine equities market and earn potentially higher returns, said China Bank Senior Vice President and Head of Trust Group Rene Sarmino. Available at all China Bank branches nationwide, the bank said the fund was for clients with an aggressive investor risk profile or those who are willing to stay invested in the fund for, at least, and accept a greater level of risks, such as the volatility of returns and possible erosion of principal. Is China not conducting a giant eugenics project? One of the stories about China you see cropping up a lot in U.S. media is that the nation is conducting a eugenics project to engineer a generation of hyper-smart kids who can conquer the world with their genius. In reality, researchers in China are trying to determine whether there is a genetic basis for intelligence. Specifically, they are looking at the kind of intelligence that leads to people who are gifted at math. And even more specifically, their dataset doesn't come from a Chinese project, instead it comes from an American study of mathematically gifted kids. A lot of the hysteria over the Chinese eugenics project is ironic, given that the United States has conducted similar intelligence studies. Indeed, during the 1920s and 30s, many scientists in the U.S. believed that eugenics projects could improve humanity through selective breeding, and yes, by selective, they often meant middle-class white people. Even as late as the 1990s, U.S. social scientist Charles Murray argued in his book The Bell Curve that the country was suffering from a dysgenic trend because so few educated white people were reproducing and so many black people were having families at a young age. Once we set aside the question of eugenics, however, the real question is whether there actually is a set of genetic markers for mathematical aptitude. So far, the answer is maybe. China's rush to cities. For more than 20 years, China's government has encouraged the rural poor to move to cities as a way to boost growth and lift living standards. The country now has 263 million migrant workers, and new leaders who took office this year have renewed the drive to urbanize. But while city wages are higher, so are their costs of living, exacerbated by a hukou residency system that bars Chinese from receiving benefits such as healthcare and schooling outside their registered hometown. Nearly half of left-behind children live with neither of their parents, the All China Women's Federation said in a report last month. Almost 70% of those stay with grandparents, the vast majority of whom have only a primary school education. A quarter have other guardians, and 7% survive on their own. Because of their long-term separation from parents, familial affection is lacking and household education is weak. The quality of life, mental and physical health and surroundings of left-behind children are all inferior to those whose parents are looking after them. But many families feel the financial rewards offered by China's economic boom means the price is worth paying. Are financial benefits worth the social costs? That's the China Report for today. Zaijian.